Oh, out of sync.
I just looked at the clock.
Yeah.
This time of night, every single time.
Yep.
Or maybe not every single time, but almost every time.
Maybe we should change our internet reset to 6 a.m. or so, 7 a.m.
Maybe 10 in the morning.
That sounds ironically better for us than.
Also, yeah, it's.
So should we try rejoining, or do you restart the game?
Okay, you know what? I will try saving the game first.
Also, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but like we can still do like a bit because else it would be kind of. You know what? It would kind of suck if I now, go and how was it called, end the stream because then in the. See it? Does it work? No! God damn it! We had to do. We need to do the whole month again. Because like it would look a bit shit on Twitch and on YouTube. So can I just egocentrically say maybe just like 30 more minutes?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's good. But also the thing about the new Godzilla movies. It's not like I have a collection of all the original Godzilla movies on Blu-ray. I like Big Lizard. But yeah.
All right, I actually have a question for everybody here.
Yeah.
Can you name the movie that kind of, I guess, gets hated on a lot that you love? Or basically the worst movie that you love?
I'm not enough into movies to know which movies are hated.
It doesn't even have to be like hated, just a movie that you think is like, oh, this is not a very good movie, but I am enjoying it anyways.
Mongolian death worms.
There you go.
And
That's the kind of answer I'm looking for.
And Super Oinur 2.
Coming in swinging with the weird ass shit.
For me, I would probably put Cannonball Run 2 on there. If you have not seen Cannonball Run 2, go watch Cannonball Run 2. It's got quite the cast. You've got Jaws sitting in a speedy car with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, by the way, you can all rejoin.
Okay.
So that means a bit more of a newer movie.
But Cannonball Run 2, if I remember correctly, got so it won an award for worst movie. I forget which, because Hollywood likes to hand out awards for worst movies.
Was it a Razzie?
Yes, a Razzie, I think. Let me double check.
Okay. You know what? Then I'm just going very quickly to the toilet.
Oh.
Okay, so the film. Oh, it's the Raspberry Award, which is a Razzie.
Yeah.
The film received 8 Golden Raspberry Award nominations at the 1984 Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Picture, Worst Actor, and Worst Actress.
Oof.
Yeah.
They had to be equal in criticizing the film. So bad was it? It's like.
Yeah. But so we have.
To be fair, critics are sometimes pretty off the mark, but in some cases, on some things. But overall, they're pretty accurate.
So I'm looking at the names of the various actors. We've got Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Jamie Farr, Ricardo Montalban, Telly Savalas, Marilu Henner, Shirley MacLaine, Susan Anton, Catherine Bach, Foster Brooks, Sid Caesar, and Louis Nye, Jackie Chan, Richard Keel, Tim Conway, Don Knotts. I'm pretty sure that there's a James Bond actor in here. Manias, Jack Elam, Charles Nelson Riley, Michael V. Gazzo, The director was in the movie. Hal Needham, Alex Rocco, Henry Silva, Abe Vigolda, Jim Narballs, Molly Picorn, Frank Sinatra was in there as himself. There's more names, but none that I don't want to list too many names at this point, even though I've kind of already done that. But yeah, it was a shitty movie, but it was a fun shitty movie.
You know what? When I can say one movie that is overhated, Pacific Rim Uprising. Like,
fair enough.
Here's the thing. There's stuff that people should criticize, which the movie fails at, is like, conveying the weight. Like, you're like, oh, it's not at night. Like, no, that's not the problem. The problem is that the Jaeger suddenly have not the same weight that they had in the animation department, which was clear that they kind of had to get it out. They just animated it very normally, and the shot, like, Pacific Rim 1 was very clearly shot as a wrestling movie with clear leitmotifs, and then Uprising just didn't have that. I'd say if Uprising did the same animation techniques and like kept the same fights, just made the impact more weighty, framed it better, like a bit more like wrestling match, had the leitmotifs, people would have loved the movie way more.
I'll also note for chat and YouTube, I was talking with Nya about this movie a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, and I remember a specific point that you were hating on that you have failed to mention here.
Mm-hmm.
The sound design and music.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing when I said with leitmotifs, because the original movie had very, very clear leitmotifs when the music kicked in. You were like, okay, this is the leitmotif for Gypsy Danger. It goes hard. You're like, okay, and then you have other ones that get introduced as this is the leitmotif for the Chinese Jaeger. This is the leitmotif for the Russian Jaeger. And then when they fight, they also play briefly. It's funny because they are not actually unique songs, they are part of two other songs, which is the weirdest fucking thing, that they made songs with those leitmotifs and then cut the movie around the songs. Like, why are you doing this?
It's kind of funny how much, so when I'm thinking about a sound design aspect, it's funny how much Pacific Rim is similar to anime, despite the fact that Guillermo del Toro did not watch anime, and same with I'm pretty sure that his sound designers did not either.
He did.
Oh, he's watched a little. He's not as big of an anime.
No. Here's the thing.
He hangs around with Kojima.
Not only that. The Jaegers and the promotional, like, they specifically made promotional artwork for the Jaegers, which was inspired by Gunpla box design. Del Toro watched Mecha. This thing is a whole big Mecha thing.
Gunpla is a little bit different than.
No, he watched Gundam.
Put that in a different. So I would put that in a separate sector from the wider array of anime.
No, can I say one thing? I do not know where you got this from, but like, he confirmed it himself. He's a big Mecha fan. This whole thing was a big homage to Mecha.
That for some reason separates the Mecha genre a bit further at the fringes of anime for some reason that he hasn't explained yet. Which you will come to.
Okay.
Zep wanted to explain.
There's a lot there. So there are, at least in my eyes, there's noticeable differences in direction, design, and cinematography, and like basically all aspects of creating a story on the screen that are just done differently from basically all other genres of anime. Mecha does things different, and this is not to say not in a bad way.
I mean, yeah, because like it's spanning, like Mecha is spinning off from like nowadays very political series. Don't forget, Mecha was basically superhero, and then basically Mecha, then Gundam came, and afterwards everything in Mecha was about politics. Everything.
Okay, Sophie, I'm not that tired and emotional. I'm a little bit, not that much. My point is that Mecha, like as a media genre, behaves differently from the rest of the anime sphere.
I mean, yeah, everyone wants to be. Also, just to be clear, not many studios are doing it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
they all have their own distinct styles because
but you have to remember that the original point was Del Toro watched anime
and he watched Gundam. Like,
he watched a lot of mecha anime. He did not see. I don't think. My understanding is that he did not watch very many shows outside of the mecha or probably some of the more popular ones.
I don't think someone has asked him yet.
I don't. The only one who probably knows is Kojima. And I think Del Toro himself said he watched Tokusatsu with Kojima. So yeah.
Tokusatsu is not anime though.
Yeah, but like, considering how much Kojima is standing Licorice Recoil, Del Toro probably watched it.
At this point, yes. at the time of Pacific Rim, Licorice Recoil didn't exist then.
Honestly, considering those two are very big friends for a long time, Kojima only now openly talks about how much fucking anime he actually watches. He probably got Del Toro to watch some. Like, that definitely happened. I think it's still the funniest bit about Kojima that Del Toro said
here,
is,
right? You can start.
I think the funniest bit is that Del Toro was like, "Oh no, you cannot compete with Kojima on useless Tokusatsu lore. If you start talking about Tokusatsu in his vicinity, he will fucking info dump on you. The guy is relentless." Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. That one was good. Like, why does it have a bad reputation? What the fuck?
One?
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. That got a bad rep? What the fuck? That movie was good.
I think it got... my memory might be failing me on this, but I think it got caught up in the wider spectrum of the issue of, like, the hyper-feminist movies that
comic book
just,
fans.
like,
Yeah, that
feminism
makes sense.
for feminism's sake.
Nah,
I know that
I mean, like,
Birds of Prey got a lot of good reviews, but I think people and also I think those also came out during the time at which seeing movies in cinema or even just seeing movies in general was on like an all-time low, even compared to now. Because there's been some resurgence.
I mean,
and
yeah, then, when you need to put fans in brackets, it's more like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this is the one that was always obviously coming, because like, oh, why does she hate the Joker now? The Joker was an abusive relationship for decades in the comics, which just shows that they're not fans because they never read them. Like, sorry, the Harley Quinn story...
Well,
Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy storyline is now the dominant thing for, like, they can't even go away from them anymore. They're so popular. It was obvious the movies would pivot to that at some point.
Yeah, so I think what it is that people don't want to admit, or they didn't, or I think the Harley Quinn Joker dynamic, I think, was too silly for them to recognize both to recognize the two faults of why that's not a valid relationship.
Yeah.
Is one, because they didn't want to see Joker as abusive, and two, because they didn't want to acknowledge the fact that the Joker and Batman are actually in a relationship, essentially.
I mean, yes.
I mean, I guess, yeah. No, the thing is, what I find funny is...
There's even though there are literal entire stories and plot lines centered around the fact that the Joker and Batman have a specific tighter relationship than the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like, Joker is platonically in love with Batman.
Like,
He wants Batman. Everything about the Joker towards Batman is notice me.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, the Dark Knight worked so well, because he's basically a fucking stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, it's kind of wild, but, like, also I think a lot of people saw, the first Suicide Squad movie and really didn't get the point that that movie already set the Joker as very manipulative and abusive up.
I think the problem with the first Suicide Squad movie with the Joker was they went too hard on selling the Joker's character as a badass asshole. They tried to go too hard into that direction, which I think distracted from the fact that the Joker is just a plain old asshole to Harley Quinn. Which is why I think that
obvious.
the whole weird. No, so it's obvious, but it's distracted from, and it kind of made the scenes where Harley has the like weird tension with Deadshot in that movie. It makes that scene feel awkward.
Not really. As I said, I found
To
it
me, it was
pretty
a little
obvious. Like,
Yeah.
No,
Probably
So
just
I'm not again. I'm saying that it's not obvious, because it is obvious. I'm just saying that the way that they played so hard into the Joker character to make it super duper obvious, I think may have gone a little full circle in going over people's heads.
well,
Or we could
that's
say
the
that
thing I
like
don't
a-
understand because I
It's
found it obvious.
It's a certified whoosh moment, I'd say,
or maybe
for the general public.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak for the general public.
By the way, when I just want to brag a little bit because because of why I said I want to have the new, King Kong and Godzilla movies, because I have a box here with 12 Toho Godzilla movies. So basically all of the Toho Godzilla movies, including Shin Godzilla. I own Shin Godzilla twice.
Speaking of Toho, you want to hear something interesting about Toho?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out that this most recent Comic Kit was the first time that Comic Kit has not used Toho for its advertising. Toho was replaced by Blue Archive.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Every other year for like the past however many years, Comic Kit has always primarily used Toho for their advertising. But I guess that this is my guess is it was probably part of a marketing plot to try and get more people from the general public in, because Blue Archive is surprisingly popular among the Japanese public.
Shin Godzilla is great, yeah. But also, if the thing is, what I love about this collection, aside from the printing error, because they put Mechagodzilla 2 as a 1993 movie, which is like, I don't think that happened. And they say Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla in 2002, which is like, no, that didn't happen. I know that timeline, but it's just a printing error on the back. They have the 1954 Godzilla original Japanese long version on Blu-ray, restored.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Am I just currently being a bit nerdy about having a really old 50s movie from Asia? Yes, but you know what?
A little bit, yes.
But here's the thing. Asian movies from the 70s and 80s, fuck. I just, you know what?
Fuck. That makes no sense. Do you know that?
They fuck means they're really good. They're really, really good and overlooked. Like, I just, recently watched Drunken Master again. Like, what can I say? It's a Hong Kong classic for a reason.
Well, when you said Asian movies, my mind was still focused on Japanese movies, but you are correct. I would say that a lot of that credit for under Asian movies goes to the Hong Kong film scene.
Okay, let's just be clear here. The Hong Kong film scene is fucking lit. Like, we would not have so many movies nowadays without the Hong Kong movie scene. Like, Japanese, good ones. There are. And let me just be clear here.
Japanese film scene for live action is very good. The problem that they've like suffered from is They're actors directing. What I mean by that is like the directors having actors overact, which had it's a more of a later problem for that, and that transitioned into the current era for Japanese cinema.
I mean,
In a lot of films, there is overacting.
I'd say if you want like the old Japanese movies, are also just fucking like, especially gangster dramas, they are so good. I mean, everyone's like, oh, have you seen Akira Kurosawa? Have you seen the gangster drama Akira Kurosawa?
One second, really quick. The U.S. is declaring on me.
Yeah.
Are you able to join on that? Or are you willing to?
I kind of want to, but I am also on the verge of being in default.
Oops.
Yeah, but we could try and like.
At the minimum, at least you being involved in the play would help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and I think I can get Britain to join.
Can I ask for U.S. war reps?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you're fine with war. I can give you war reps.
Okay. One thing I kind of want to point out that like also really good 80s Asian.
It was already given to me because.
Oh well.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I could offer you a bankroll. I don't know how much that would hurt my economy, but I don't mind.
Yeah, like I don't know how much a bankroll does exactly, but
you can just look.
That would. I can afford that probably. I think I can afford that. So yeah, I'll sway with
Can you take all my debt?
I can't do both.
No, yeah.
All right. For my proper demands, give me Colorado. And Oklahoma. Where's Oklahoma? Let's fix these borders. There it is.
Grab Wyoming and Montana.
Mexican Louisiana.
Yeah. Grab Florida.
I have been eyeing up Wyoming and Montana for a while. They're probably not that worth it, but what the hell? Wyoming, see what that does to my infamy. Can I get Montana without going too far over? No, that would put me over it, but who the fuck cares? You know what? I don't care. Let's just go for it. We have the Brits on our side.
I'm going to send everybody to the front. And hope that they don't naval invade me. Because I have a pretty beefy navy, but their navy would still kick the shit out of mine, probably.
I've been slowly improving my navy. It's not been the fastest thing because that's just how improving navies go.
Yeah, I have 10 ironclads and 23 plus 7 frigates. More.
Yeah, I think if whatever Britain sends over and what you're sending over can stack on the front, we should be able to push them even.
Yeah, I've got everything set to defend.
Okay, good.
Oh, and I might have to pull some off. I have an incoming secession.
Oh, That's not good.
No, it isn't. What is that?
Well, so actually, you can leave if I'm invited to that. You can leave that, and I can send the 15 stack that I have spare.
I'll see if I can when the play starts.
Yeah, I'll preemptively send my army over there.
It's Guarani, which is in like northern Argentina, the next to Uruguay. So the La Plata HQ.
Okay, yeah, I'm sending it that way.
Guarani is
who is the U.S. trading with? Let me see. Trade routes with me. Who do they have with other countries?
Your flag is now the normal Mexican flag. It's not the other one that was at the start.
Yeah. Inactive with Britain. Trading with Japan. Where's that trade route? Okay, it's over there.
Oh my god.
What?
I just noticed the uprising. It's not only 2 states, but those are some big states.
They only look big. Alright, I joined. I can handle this uprising for you.
Yeah, oh, like good old Asians, 70s, 80s stuff. If you want to watch some very, even relevant stuff that for free. So you know what? This is not even from Japan or Hong Kong, but fucking China, because China made us a Journey to the West TV series back in the 80s. It is so good that literally every
the Three
piece
Kingdoms.
that
The Three Kingdoms TV series is great. Yeah, sorry.
I was talking. Because literally that series was so good that every single piece of media about Journey to the West afterwards tried to copy that series. And you know what? It is completely free subbed on YouTube. All 40 episodes. You can just watch it. It's on YouTube. Yeah.
So the Three Kingdoms series that they made a long time ago is also on YouTube, and so it's free to watch. It's a great series.
We're heading out CCP propaganda here.
Shaolin Soccer is a great movie.
I know when that was made, but not that long ago. I think
it's fairly recent, but you know what? In the year 2023, I would say that Shaolin Soccer is not a recent movie anymore.
Let me guess, it was 2000s?
2001.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, that's fair, but also, you know what? My perception of time says 80s was, 2000s was recently, so fuck you. I will not acknowledge the passage of time. So, can we talk about how Hard Boiled is amazing?
I'm assuming that you're going to anyways, so go.
God damn it, you have not seen Hard Boiled.
No.
That hospital shootout is so legendary.
Or I just don't remember. That could also be.
Honestly, here's
Wait,
the thing.
is that the one? Is that the one where the today is Friday in California? Meme comes from?
No.
Okay.
No, that we were talking about John Woo classics. Where they basically the thing is they have a shootout in the hospital, okay, and what happens is that on the set they had a full set, but they could only afford one set, so they had the whole shootout scene happening with a camera following the actors through that shootout. It's amazing. And then they go in an elevator. The elevator closes. They have this close-up emotional scene But behind the scenes, everyone cleaned up the set really quickly, restocked it with different furniture, and then they shot it backwards through the same set again. Seamlessly. It's such a good scene without cuts. Like, seriously. People say, the shootout in Heat and such are really up there. They are. No question. They're amazing. But also, like, that shootout scene in Hard Boiled is, like, that is where Max Payne originated from. And it's so... Like, you want to see where John Wick came from? Watch the old John Woo movies. Trust me, they are so fucking good. Ah. But yeah, so John Woo, like the old John Woo movies, they're like that kind of movie, that the people who make your favorite movie watched. So, like, yeah. Why are you in Namakwa Land?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You're too slow.
Because I can.
No,
It's for the rightful Portuguese territory.
No, Brazil, I guess.
Yeah, Brazil is
Portuguese
just
speaking.
Contributing to the Portuguese Empire.
The Neo-Portuguese Empire.
Exactly.
Hey.
Because everything that had Neo in its name is good.
Yes.
I'm slowly getting ships. I'm slowly getting ships. I'm slowly getting ships, and then I will invade some countries.
But
Großes Boot. So ein großes Boot, Junge. Sorry.
You can do that so often it only gets less fun.
Why? It's funny.
Nope.
Ah.
You do it too often.
I did this, like... What are you saying? That joke I did, like... The reference I did, like... Months
Every
ago.
few weeks.
No! You're imagining things.
Nope.
You just don't want me to to make New Kids references anymore.
Nope.
How was this scene actually in Dutch? I never saw the Dutch version. Like, so New Kids was weirdly big here. Weirdly.
But you had that too?
Yeah,
I thought it was a
seriously.
Dutch thing.
New Kids was a fucking huge thing in Germany. That
It-
trailer dropped at first, everyone memed it. And then the movie came out and everyone memed it.
Yeah, like, it was really popular for a while. I haven't heard about it in years, but it was really popular for a little while.
Yeah.
Like it was something that it was something that people would like quote in real life.
Yep, that's what that's like. I don't know how the quotes are in in Dutch. That's like probably similar to German, but yeah. I don't know. It just hit something. To be honest, New Kids wasn't funny to me when it came. It probably wasn't funny. It was just a thing.
I will say it does not help that this front line is so massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a big front line. It's basically the whole border. America's like,
Yeah.
everything has to be bigger in America, I guess. But yeah, movies back what are other movies I'd say are good but others think are bad? That's the problem. I think I only watch good movies.
Don't
I
think.
would say Kung Pao Enter the Fist is good.
I haven't seen that.
Um,
I mean, the one bad movies we watched were Sieben Zwerge, but that's a German thing. And I can say everyone said the second one was worse, but the second one was actually better.
I guess The Room counts, but that
Everyone,
I feel like it's
Yeah.
too much of a cult classic.
Yeah, nobody unironically likes The Room.
Yeah.
I don't know what The Room is.
it's a weird indie movie that it's just bad and everyone quotes it
Which
because
one? Which one?
Oh, hi, Mark.
More, please.
Hello, doggy.
Something that's actually.
You're
iconic.
tearing me apart, Lisa.
Okay, that I know. So
It's
that,
one of the
see,
three.
I remember movies, but I don't remember actors. I don't remember names of movies, generally speaking. Did very few movies where I remember the name.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was supposed to be, like, the thing is, it was supposed to be a drama about, I think, a failing relationship, and, you know, the protagonist does suicide in the end. Can I even say that? Oh god, this will be uploaded to YouTube. Unalived, I guess.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Fuck YouTube and their censorship. This is like the stupidest thing ever.
Yes.
It's just U.S. Christian Puritanism forced onto everyone, like and U.S. Companies on the internet. Sorry. The thing is that basically it was badly acted, so it never conveyed anything.
I know which movie you mean now.
Good.
That's like the thing. If you just say the name, I'm thinking about the movie about a room, you know, and I'm thinking like, I don't know, the Red Room, Chinese Room, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie has nothing to do with that, so I didn't connect it.
But yeah, New Kids was a weird thing in Germany. Like, I don't know what to say about that even.
Like I'm thinking like, what do I even? I don't remember most Star Wars movie names. I just call them Star Wars.
Which Star Wars?
The one with the potential midichlorian storyline, which had potential but didn't do much with it, and the other one. And then the new ones.
That would probably be
Episode 1.
The Phantom Menace, and the one that
the prequel trilogy, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Also,
I just don't
I just
remember
got-
them. That's all. Nothing against the movies. It's fine.
I just got the most cursed political party, I think. Well, one of the most cursed.
Okay.
The intelligentsia, trade unions, and petit bourgeois.
I mean, I see. That's basically the Ampel Coalition.
I am so upset. So my admiral died mid-invasion of DC.
No.
Oh.
Should have hired more.
So it essentially canceled it.
Yeah.
And that invasion was actually going to succeed.
Yeah.
It was going to take a little bit of time, but it was going to succeed.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Where's that going?
So I know why my GDP is kind of stagnating right now. It's a combination of having so many dependents and also the fact that Britain owns so much of my GDP that I don't have very many capitalists, which means that my investment pool is not increasing very quickly. Which is also why I say that once you are a minor power, you should not have a great power investing in you.
Yeah.
I'd even suggest to say that even so even a minor power, not even like waiting until major power. When you're a minor power, you should stop having great powers invest in you because they just end up taking too much of your economy, especially the British.
True. I guess it depends how fast you can grow your economy. Some countries have it easier than others there, but yeah.
Yeah, there are probably some exceptions in there.
But as a general
for the most
rule,
part,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, which movies? I know Pacific Rim. I know the Lord of the Rings movies, but I watched them too much, so I
Oh, you know what?
actually
We
remember.
do like the Hobbit movies.
Yes, but I don't remember the actual titles of the films.
All three.
Which is, yeah, neither. I have no idea how they're called.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's probably
The Hobbit 1, 2, and 3.
Oh,
I guess. No, I think the last one is the Battle of Five Armies. Smokes, Smokes, something, and the second and the first one was The Hobbit, I guess, only.
I mean, if I had to guess, they would be called something like the beginning, the travel,
Middle and the end.
and the smoldering mountain, because I know the location. They should have named it like that.
Yeah, nobody really cares about the Hobbit movies. Even Peter Jackson didn't want to make them.
I like them.
And it's like,
They're funny.
yeah,
Entertainment.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
basically the books as film, more or less.
They were really not that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine.
I know, like, I get why it happened and such, but like, yeah.
Did they need to happen? No. But... Huh, I have an empty construction queue at the front of my construction queue.
Yeah, that happen. I've seen that happen sometimes. It's. I don't think I think it's just a visual bug.
Yeah.
Not much fun. Also,
That's the visual bug that I had last time that
Yeah.
we played. Fix your game, Paradox.
When you're always fixing it, they're just getting more bugs while fixing it.
How much longer do I owe this bankroll? A few more years. I can manage. I can probably manage. It's just my GDP's not gonna like it.
God, my fleet is slowly building up. Woo! I am soon going to have a navy, everyone. A navy. I can invade
Boat.
people.
time for boat.
Yes, boat. Ooh.
Oh, I have null states now in my private construction queue. I wonder where they come from.
I feel like I need to get off of laissez-faire.
Maybe. I need to get off on it. That's my problem.
My problem is just there's no desire for any other like economic system. And of course the Cherokee are fucking seceding. They should be happy with the new Mexican overlords.
Cherokee be like, what the fuck? It's like, you know, first, you know, we get pushed away and now people want us to wear sombreros. When will this end?
Wait, look. Okay, look. Sombreros are awesome.
I know.
Yeah, but the Cherokee don't want them.
We had a whole game about
They
that.
should.
What?
The Cherokee should like them.
A whole game about how sombreros are awesome?
Yes. Metal Gear.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, Raiden's...
Not even I got that one.
I just had a moment because I was like, did she mean Samba de Amigo?
No.
I probably know too many Spanish-themed games. But yeah, that's the perfect disguise of Raiden. I have a perfect disguise. Remember how that guy trained to be the successor to Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2? Remember that?
I mean, that was what was told to him.
Oh, he wanted it to that at that
Yeah,
time.
he
Now-
wanted to. I don't think anybody expected him to do anything.
And then he was like, yeah, I can blend in.
Like,
Sorry, there are just two people in video game existence that could pull that off successfully.
great.
And
you're
one
a
is
full cybernetic human. That's...
one is Solid Snake / Big Boss. They could, and the other one is Agent 47. Agent 47 could just sit there with a sombrero and everyone would be like, yeah, that's a Mexican. He could just do that.
You could make a religion out of that.
God.
Oh, that reminds me. One of my favorite videos online is one of those videos where people go around debunking the whole cultural appropriation thing.
The what?
And so so
I
there's
didn't
a guy who
understand
went
it.
around
I didn't.
asking.
He explains it right now.
I didn't
Yeah,
get
I'm
the
explaining it
word.
right now.
He explains it right now.
Okay.
Do you not know what cultural appropriation is?
That's what you wanted to say. Yeah.
He said that.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't acoustically understand it.
So I understand the feeling. So basically the guy is wearing a sombrero and a poncho and like traditional Mexican garb, and he goes up to a guy who's very clearly Mexican, and is a Mexican immigrant into the U.S. And he asks the guy, "How do you feel about me wearing? How do you feel about my outfit?" Yeah,
that is already missing the point. Because
hold on.
No. Because just
Can I
doing that
finish first?
isn't the point about what people about the.
Can I finish first?
Hmm?
Can I finish first?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the guy going up to this person. He goes up to this is the second part of the video, so I'm kind of saying this out of order, but whatever. And the Mexican guy basically says, "No, I love this. I love your outfit. It's great. I'm glad you're wearing it."
Yeah, and then he goes to you probably.
And then he ends up talking to a white girl who's basically like, "No, you can't wear that. Why are you wearing that?" Cool. Yeah.
First of all, you can find people like that, but also it misses the whole point.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is, just wearing that isn't cultural appropriation. There's like a whole fucking lot more going on about that. It just gets boiled down to that because that's no. It always gets reduced to that because that quote unquote makes it makes a joke out of the concept because that else you couldn't again, a lot of right wingers don't want people to think or talk about it, and this is why they take angles like that, because that means people don't actively think about it.
This topic is not a right winger topic. It's
pretty much.
It originated there.
On right wingers.
It originated from that, and it definitely spread because, like, here's the thing: a lot of left wingers are stupid. I'm sorry to say that, but like a lot of them are stupid. Like, just look at online. How many shit right wingers introduced into language that leftists just picked up and just were like, oh no, I'm not using it in that sense. You're still using it in their sense. You're just making so many words just socially acceptable. And this is the same thing. It's like they warped the concept of what it was about because a lot of people get introduced to those things through right wingers, not on other things. Because cultural appropriation was the assimilation of things and also flattening of cultural parts into mainstream culture. That is more the point. It's not like, oh, you wear a sombrero. That's not the point. Like. That is not like the thing is reducing it to oh, you can't wear things or say things or like things if you have a certain skin color. That framing alone is from right wingers and quite stupid. It is specifically there to be a concept that can't be held up, and not to talk about the whole how things get flattened into the mainstream culture or just reduced to aesthetics. That's more the thing. Like, for example...
That's the point of the video. The point of the video is to say how stupid that is.
Yeah, but it
From
also...
the way you described it, not really.
But the thing is that it reinforces the idea that this is cultural appropriation, not, for example, that, for example, let's just put it like this. If someone just threw in, like, for example, just threw in shit into, for example...
Could you get to the point instead of talking like a recorder?
I'm currently trying to make an example, but if you...
Then make it first, then talk.
I'm trying to... So, for example, in... If you take imagery from certain cultures about rebellion and such and just flatten it into like some aesthetic in a sci-fi movie, then this is about also taking away the impact of the cultural point of something. Because let's just be clear here, I think the weirdest part about this thing is that you know, it would probably be more appropriate to make something just, for example, the Santa Muerte cult from Mexico. But, you know, in just a very surface level way, just evil, bad religion, because that would fall more under it than someone wearing a sombrero, you know, which is like a headgear that you wear. Big hat is a thing that a lot of cultures around the globe have to protect themselves from sun heat. That is not something where you could say, oh, this is a problem. It's more like specific cultural touching points getting folded into just mainstream aesthetic. Like, for example, one example we have is, you know, the Che Guevara picture that, you know, was technically a thing that, you know, first of all was made without a license, so this is why everyone fucking printed it. They didn't need to have license costs. But also...
I didn't quite hear you. What picture?
The Che Guevara face that was printed everywhere. That is, for example, one thing in how...
I don't know if I'm understanding what you're saying exactly.
Basically, Che Guevara
like what you're referring to exactly.
Che Guevara stood for something, especially in a lot of South American revolutions. He was a symbol, okay? But...
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then, you know, the continuous printing diminished him to just being the t-shirt person. And that is what it's usually about, not, you know, what you can wear or what not. It's more like there's a lot of shit people don't care about.
So the thing you're missing out on is the uniquely American
hey, I don't care how stupid your country is. You can be wrong about a lot of shit.
This is not what I'm talking about. Because so there's a perspective here that is uniquely American because we're such a melting pot, where cultural identity ties a lot into visuals, and
I know.
So so you have the situation where the point of that, the point of like the wearing someone else's clothes ties in intrinsically within our culture in living that culture, living that life, and identity as well. And so that is where I disagree with you on the whole subjectivity of that, because the way you see it is that is infantilizing the logic of it, whereas for me and the average American, it's not, because we understand the deeper meaning of it.
Okay, but
because
that kind of contradicts
the deeper meaning of
it.
it, and the deeper meaning of it is significant to us.
But like the thing is
I don't agree.
Yeah, but like the thing is that you're such a melting pot that, you know, certain kinds of, you know, obviously you end up with some stuff where it's like, hey, this is how people identify themselves. Like, probably also if we had like a movement here, you know, where just people would start wearing, you know, headscarves again, as we actually kind of did like a century ago. Oops. The thing is that then probably a lot of you know, Muslims would be like, hey, that was our symbol, that exists, yes, but it usually, you know, again it does get flattened into very silly things, because like then you don't need to talk about shit like, for example, hey, why did a white guy write a book about, you know, Native Americans, and that is still the most, you know, shown piece of media about American natives in basically all around in Germany, because yeah, we have a book series that is very fucking popular, that is still put up today, and like a lot of people get like, especially, you know, Germans are like, oh, what is the harm in that? We don't portray them as savages, and it's like, yeah, but like you don't portray them as well, they were either. So like that's also a problem. Also, again, written by a white guy who was never in the Americans.
The other thing I want to add in addition to that is that in the U.S., clothing is a what's the word? It's cultural expression too, because of the melting pot. It is a primary form of cultural expression.
I mean, there's several.
And there's no debate about that. It is a primary form of cultural expression here.
Well, good thing that the
People
Albanians
will
don't have.
wear it in order to.
I wanted to say, good thing that the Albanians don't have a monopoly on gold chains. Then.
There.
And lots of that was more.
There is a certain aesthetic that I can recognize as Albanian American.
Yeah,
Because
it's the tracksuit
of airport.
It's the tracksuit. It's
The tracksuit is a part of it,
and the gold chain.
It is a part of it, and it kind of blends in with the Eastern European aesthetic for Eastern European immigrants to the U.S.
And also very strong cologne. You smell them.
Yeah, but that's also just Boris, basically.
Yeah, to a degree.
We are kind of blending into stereotypes here,
Yes.
more so than cultural expressions and identities. So I will note that.
Yeah. Sorry.
But there is some minor truth to it.
Usually.
Mostly only dating back to about 60 years ago.
Like, yeah,
So
like a lot of
1960s.
stereotypes have their origins somewhere. That's a thing. Okay, everyone, I probably have a fucking fleet soon.
The Dutch have tried to conquer the seas again, but they're not from their homeland.
Can't be their mine. Every Dutch person's mine.
But also, yeah, America, you should get your shit together. You're weird.
Which America?
General the USA.
What's the...
It is a problem that the internet is basically controlled by the USA.
It's influenced a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't say controlled. It's highly influenced just because of the mass amount of media from the U.S.
And not only that, it's just like, every single social media site that is currently used around the world is based in America and.
Or
yeah.
China, but the ones in China don't get used outside of China.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's partly China's fault.
No, that's pretty much wholly China. Like the
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
also.
that-
They
China.
don't. China doesn't like their social media escaping China.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the Great Firewall is depicted as pointing inward. But it's not really an intentional thing. It's just kind of. I think America was the first to en masse enter the internet, and so everybody.
Yeah, sure.
followed suit.
But the problem is that now that basically America is very much dominated by a very Puritan, especially evangelical ideology, and that is just something that is currently forced on basically everyone else. Like,
I
again,
disagree.
oh, hey, swearing is a problem for you. No one in the world has it. Like, you know what? You know what the difference is? You know what the difference is? If you look at children's movies, like for example, good example, the Minions movie. You have like maybe light like shit in there, maybe in one scene, because a character has a problem, with a gadget. And you know what the Polish used? Kurwa. Let that sink in. No, you definitely have a problem compared to everyone else in the world.
I don't understand your point.
Okay, your fucking your parents.
Not your parents.
Like,
Stop.
parents.
You're already talking completely wrong.
I mean,
You're talking about a broader thing in America that seeps through the internet and is forced on everybody else through companies.
So basically,
that's what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, there a lot of companies are very averse to sex, to swearing, to a lot of fucking shit on the internet. They are very averse, and even then you have online circles that enable that, because, like, for example, the fact that you can't say suicide or killed anymore. That is
you
just
can't say it. It's just also wrong. You can't say it. You will get downvoted basically by the algorithm. That's what you mean.
Which is something that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, but you should speak more clearly.
But that is only in the algorithm.
You should speak more clearly.
Let me explain this, specifically this subject that you're talking about. So the reason why they do that is because they don't want uninformed people or non-professionals talking about the subject, because there's the potential of someone being uninformed, spreading misinformation, and causing problems.
That's not what they're doing.
They do.
That's not what they're doing.
No.
Stop that, Zeph. Stop.
Let me finish.
It's the word band in general.
Let me finish.
It's not even what she was talking
finish.
about.
No, it's
They
literally...
do boost visibility for people who are professionals in the field.
Yeah, and even they don't use the words anymore, because, again, the words generally get deboosted.
Yeah.
Topics get deboosted.
The ones that I've seen have used the words.
Your credit card users kill... are basically currently killing the whole sex industry online, worldwide. It's complete bullshit. And again, one of the things that keeps popping up in media and social media is how everyone's like, oh no, our child used a swear word. What are we going to do? That is just a you problem. The swear word jar is a completely American thing.
I agree with you on the sex worker thing, but that is mostly driven by state politics and the fact that a lot of conservatives hold on, and that a lot of server farms are located in those states. Therefore, those states have an advantageous pull towards what gets pushed through there.
Okay, and then the obvious follow-up is, and what are those states? American, thus point stands.
Yeah, and also, that's the thing.
That's like no, hold on. That's like saying that Germany is.
Can you?
No. That's saying Germany is European. That's the same difference, basically.
Yeah, but can I say one thing?
It would be like saying Bavarians are German, but everyone in a country is
like saying Austrians are German.
I mean, they were once.
Yes.
So
I'm looking for the word.
We're talking about
yes. First of all, it would be like saying Bavarians are German, but every culture in Germany has a responsibility to the German state, and since you're all under America, every state in America has the same responsibility there.
Also, one thing that, by the way, Pastor Puffin,
that's at least how the outside world sees it mostly.
We're currently talking about how American, mostly Christian morals and shit, influence the whole internet to the worst. Because let's just be clear here. A lot of servers and shit, a lot of runs over American servers, and yes, your servers payment providers and stuff get leveraged by especially conservatives to push a lot of shit onto global websites. That sucks. Which is more like, why the fuck is this even a thing that's allowed? The internet should actually run by guidelines set by the UN, if we're honest. And if someone in the the servers is just they have to stand somewhere, but they shouldn't be controlled by the local law, because sorry, a lot of your countries are not really good places in terms of politics for them to stand there.
May I please talk about why there is no why I disagree with your argument about language?
Sure. Okay. We want to go back to that. Also, yeah, pass
All right. So it's not.
Let him talk.
It may have had its origins in. It may have had some of its origins in, like, the puritanical nonsense or whatever.
Yeah.
But in modern times, completely separate. It is just respect. It's just a respectfulness.
That's no respect.
That's the reason why we don't swear too much. It's decent respect to each other.
I wouldn't count that as respect.
We don't swear at each other that often, partly because of that.
Well, you don't only swear at each other. You
Common
can only
decency stuff.
you can also just swear in general, not necessarily to someone. Have to add that.
Well, yeah, we don't swear that often.
Yeah, but like.
I swear a lot more than the average American.
I know.
Yeah, but like that's the thing.
And you know that you're actually right now contributing to the point.
You
Because
literally.
if the most of the firms are led by Americans that enforce the American standards, then you're forcing everyone else. It's just
Especially since it's not even seen as a problem. Because I believe that people should be left alone as long as it's legal. Also, shouldn't have access to pornographic images. The children will find it. Like, this is something, you know. That's actually a kind of interesting thing here. Like, because, like, yeah, you know, age barriers are there across the world, but, like, it's not like, you know, children won't. Let me put it like this: it is too fucking. It is too fucking. They would find. Yeah. Also, it's more like, you know.
Let me reiterate that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
They shouldn't be sold that kind of stuff.
how could
They're
they-
going to end up getting it. So restricting access, I think, is a good thing because they're going to find because a lot of them are going to find ways around those restrictions anyways. So you might as well force them to work for it. And the more barriers you can put, the more like.
If a child
the
is
more,
interested in
that's where people.
if a child is interested in pornographic content and actively searching for it, it's either because of some stupid thing in the click where it's in, or because it's actually starting with sexually active. So I don't
Yeah.
really care
But, like,
if they see something, if they want to see it.
Yeah.
They should be educated on the subject, but
That's what you are.
I think
selling that's what school is for.
selling it to them as a product. Yeah, that's what school's for.
Also-
But they shouldn't be sold products about it.
Can we talk about the fact
Products
that
about porn? What do you mean?
Also, so product. What I mean is products related to that, to porn and sex.
Can you say something there? What do you mean?
So,
just
like,
pornos
actual
in general.
pornography. They shouldn't be buying pornography. They shouldn't be buying like
no child
sex
ever
goods.
bought like online pornography, I think.
You say that.
I mean, if you give your child a credit card, that's your own fault.
Yeah, kinda. But like, it's just
You can give them money, but the only place where you could technically buy porn would be on porn sites, where you would have then
Yeah.
a credit card where they also verify your age with, so it never worked.
I mean, can I say one
But
thing
there's
here?
free
You'd be
porn.
surprised how many kids can get a hold of their parents' wallets.
But there's free porn. I mean, why would you buy it?
I mean, that's the upside in Germany. We usually
Well,
don't
why
use
do you
credit
think
cards.
paid porn exists?
Because people are stupid?
Yeah, because people are stupid and people buy it.
I mean, they
Then
make
they're not
money.
educated
So it
enough.
kinda-
That's the different problem.
I mean, that's you know what? Can we just? By the way, yeah, I get that. Like, ironically, my sex ed was more like okay. I'd say probably in comparison, sex ed here was quote unquote better. Like they were like, this is how you use a condom and stuff. But like, the funniest bit was our teacher was definitely like, yeah, I don't know how to tell. Like, they probably were like, shit, I have to tell you know, a bunch of teenagers now what they're supposed to do because you know, I guess that. And then you know, everyone in our class was like, we were just silent because she definitely did like for the first time, and was just nervous. And then someone raised their hand and was like, so what about gay sex? that's a thing, right? And then she just looked like, and then the whole class started debating about like what are good practices, and so, like we just took over, and she just stood there and be like, yeah, that is a thing. It was very funny. In hindsight.
The whole thing with sex ed in the U.S. is that the problems with it are state based.
Yeah.
In a lot of the more left-leaning states, the problem is more on the greater issues with the education system. But in a lot of the right-leaning states, a lot of that does boil down to conservative, like conservatives and conservative parents that don't like the idea or are misinformed about what is being what the education process is. Because I can guarantee you that if I ask some parent from the Midwest, what do you think sex ed is in school, and I can guarantee you that some of the people in that would be asked that would say, oh, it's showing pornography to kids.
Yeah, because that's also the next thing what I wanted to point at is the fact that what is pornography is very much not defined for a lot of in a lot of cultures. Like for example, here's the thing: we can probably all agree that if you have a movie where someone like visibly inserts a long flesh stick into a flesh hole, that probably is pornography. We can probably all agree on that because that's literally the name of it. But you go lower, it becomes muddy. Like for example, if you look at like one of the most obvious examples is that a lot of Christian nationalists now say that basically everything that is queer is pornography. So even if there's no sex involved, just the fact that a girl might express she likes a girl or a boy expresses he might like a boy, that is pornography for them. Again, which is also just
become a very. I don't know about in other nations, but at least in the U.S., that's a very fringe ideology nowadays.
It's still, as far as I know them,
they still have a lobby.
It's not gone, but it's fringe. A lot of that got replaced by the anti-trans stuff.
Yeah, that's also the next thing. But compared to that, when I grew up here in Germany, it's still in Germany. Tits are just not considered pornography or sexual. At all. There were, anime and, there's TV programs, just during the day and such where, yeah, tits. Because, everyone's like, yeah, that's just tits. That's nothing pornographic about them. We had uncensored Ranma in TV, and it definitely changed the lives of a lot of people. Hi, Anna. On time talking about uncensored Ranma.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Oh hey. Oh yeah. Damn it. I don't. Yeah, it's legal now to stream Deadlock. Damn, I don't have an invite. So rip me. But I'm feeling better now.
Wasn't the discussion originally about how lots of American companies enforcing a standard in the internet that most people don't have?
Yeah, it definitely is changing. It was always heavily influencing cultural perceptions, but I think in the recent years it becomes even more. What's your Steam ID? That's the question, by the way. It becomes more rigorous because again, for example, just free tits was never considered maybe a bit sexual, but not pornographic here. That was just again, we had anime uncensored, just running. I tell you, there were a lot of sexual awakenings because uncensored Ranma on TV.
Yeah, now you are kind of repeating yourself.
Sorry, yeah. Hey, Govsoft girl, welcome to the very late stream that I'm still doing.
We have an interesting discussion that gets nowhere because two people mostly talk past each other.
But yeah, in general, I'd say we really need to get the the internet regulation needs to be put in a global hand because we cannot say where a data center is or something, but that shouldn't be the point where something they know what want to know why are certain anime censored, like they know what they're looking for. I think that also happened because again a lot of the older anime were already censored in the USA, and then the USA became a big market, and this is why they started censoring them more. Ironically,
when they bought
A
lots
lot of modern anime censorship is Japan's.
but Japan.
Japan's decision.
yeah. Nowadays, yes.
Because again, they realized that USA is a big market and such.
No, that's not. You'd be surprised at how little the Japanese anime market cares about the U.S.
It depends. A bunch of them are going, but also they had a cultural shift themselves because they became more conservative.
And,
we are living.
Most of the interest in the U.S. market is very recent, especially, and the Japanese censorship laws are quite old at this point.
Yeah, but also
they're not connected, I'd say.
But also, Fujimoto really cares about the US.
Yeah, they're both things that happen.
Yeah, I mean, there was a cultural, it's kind of wild to me, though,
Fujimoto is a Westaboo. I recognize that, and he's also a big film buff, so...
I mean, the thing what I want to...
That's Fujimoto.
But, they definitely had their own, big change in cultural change, because again, it's kind of wild to me that people are currently trying online to be there are so many unnecessary sex scenes in media and stuff. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? The media has been so made so sexless over the last decades. It's wild. Again, when I grew up, there were just free tits in anime. That was just a thing. I mean, original Dragon Ball had free tits.
The crux of your point is you want the crux of your point is that you want more anime.
Oh, you mean the ecchi ones? Yeah, those are on.
Not really her point, which I think you know.
It's more just a lot of a big cultural shift happened there. That's the thing. But also then people pretend that there's still too much.
I just don't want people blaming Americans on Japanese conservatism.
Oh no, it's more like you did have an influence though. You had a cultural influence. Sorry, your media empire is so big it basically influenced nearly everyone.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're basically the biggest superpower in the world as a country. You are basically responsible for nearly everything.
This is not something where I'm oh, you're specifically, the reason, but you had an influence. Especially, since, let's just be real here, a lot of European movie business just collapsed at the end of the 90s.
Never mind. No, I was just gonna make a joke. I thought I didn't really hear still. Go. Sorry.
For example, the French had a gigantic movie business once, and that is just, I think the last hurrahs was in the 2000s, and it's gone almost. There's nothing big there anymore. Basically, all big movies are now made in, America, while I just point out how many Louis Define movies just, dominated Europe back in the day.
You're not really making a point right now.
I want to say that the media landscape of movies was way more shifted to there were some international ones, but a lot of local ones, and the local ones also went more international usually. While nowadays it is almost only you took over, yeah.
So I think what happened with that is Hollywood went through a phase where it became insanely popular, even compared to now, on a global scale, and that ended up stifling a lot of independent film studios that were international, and so they didn't grow much during that time. And there were a lot of them that did well, but the mass of the whole of the industry in a lot of European nations did not do so well.
Can I say what the biggest...
the industry as a whole started to falter a bit.
Yeah, you know what the biggest shift was? Technical effects. like let's just be very real here.
Could you stop saying that?
Sorry.
You have said it like over 10 times
Okay.
now.
What happened was, especially at the end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, special effects became, especially digital special effects, became really good. The problem was, to make, movies that utilized them well, you needed big money. The only studios that really had those at the time were Hollywood movies, and subsequently there was a big boom in that because suddenly you could make really big like action blockbusters and stuff, while a lot of the more locally produced ones were a lot of small scale stuff. I think Britain is just a pain in the ass for independent film studios. I can't remember the whole reason, but it revolved around the rating system in the UK. There are a lot of local reasons, yeah, but like the problem is just a lot of the studios couldn't compete. Like there was like one of the reasons why Toho didn't make a Godzilla movie in like for decades was simply, if you look at, the last one before Shin Godzilla was Final Wars. If you look at the effects of Final Wars versus Shin Godzilla, there's your answer. They literally said with Shin Godzilla, special effects have become so good and affordable for them now that they could attempt making a new Godzilla movie. Like, there was just like a 20-year gap where basically Hollywood had a monopoly on special effects. Like, no other country could actually make a Transformers movie, for example. And let me be clear here. Transformers was very fucking popular.
You're still not really making a point,
You're
basically just...
You're kind of meandering away from the point.
Yeah. Hollywood basically outcompeted everyone on a technological scale, which made it so that most of them...
That's not making your point. That's just saying that Hollywood was so profitable that other people decided were unable to
thus leveraging the position of that and forcing certain standards on everybody else. I think that's her point.
And also the point is that a lot of local stuff could basically made at best romances, like, small scale productions.
You're not adding to your point. Because that is now...
My point is very obvious,
because
actually.
if I understand what's going on right now, Zepp is probably going to think, yeah, but Hollywood outcompeted you, so it's fine, I guess. I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Saying it's fine. I'm just saying that that's kind of what happens when you don't do so well compared to your competition.
Yes, that's what's happened, and she's criticizing that basically in the capitalist system that now America forces shit on everybody else due to such mechanisms.
You were talking about toast. Oh yeah, that's a classic Anna chat. No, okay,
So,
can I refer to my point?
I see the logical pathway. I don't necessarily agree with it.
Why?
Because you still have your industries. They still exist, and
since you already agree that
it's not. Well, the thing is, hold on. Yeah. The thing is that you don't have to sell it on the American market.
Oh, that's not about that. It's about how basically film industries is just one point. Well, basically, because America is a superpower, yeah.
Because we're a superpower, you have to listen to us, or you have to do things as we like it.
In the internet,
is that the logic?
In the internet, it's kind of slowly more and more enforced in this way.
It's just a cultural impact that you have. Like, okay, because also one of the things that happened is, again, the cost of production.
The only way that I could agree with that is if we're talking strictly on streaming service, on straight streaming service.
No, that also happened before that because
only because most streaming services are based in America, and thus have to conform to American.
It's more
stuff.
But one of the things about Hollywood is that you just outproduced everyone because, as you know, the movie costs rose with time, like a lot. If you wanted to keep a certain quality in movies, and at some point, again around late 80s to 90s, the cost of a movie became very high. Yes, there were still, German movies, French movies, etc. But a lot of them became, especially with France, co-product. I think The Fifth Element is actually a French-American co-production. But the thing is,
Again, small
You're
extra
kind of
tidbits.
no,
you're kind of circling back on the whole being out competed.
we were outproduced. We were outproduced.
Out competed, out produced. It's part of the same process.
That doesn't really make a difference. And we already addressed that, and you're just talking about specific films that doesn't change anything.
Your movies flooded the market so hard, a lot of the local markets just died out. So your presentation, which is influenced by your culture, took over. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you already understood that.
Okay.
But everyone who's new now is probably just very confused what we're talking about. That's just normal here. Every Friday we're talking about politics and culture stuff, and we're playing Victoria Free in the background, and we are evil.
Just to note, for those of you who don't get it, sometimes we don't get it either, and we're just talking bullshit sometimes.
Or just making the hottest takes that make everyone in chat go, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's late, and Nia is technically slightly ill, so it could very well be that she will, very embarrassed, next week come back and say, oops.
Maybe.
I generally agree with her point, though, because moral standards that even are slightly fringe in the USA are more present in the upper strata of people which own specific companies, and enforcing it more on the internet. Sure. Happens.
My line of thought here is like it's kind of pointing out again, why are you forcing yourself to engage in our media?
It's not about media, the internet itself. People and sites trying to enforce it.
Also, just be clear here.
I already made a thing. You are not being clear. Shut up. You never were clear.
No, I mean, because that's why you're forcing ourselves into our media. The thing is, yours is the only one on the shelf right now. Like, literally, we have our own shelf of, quote-unquote German movies, but you know what? Most of them are 80s movies. They're old.
That's not really a point.
No, the thing
is not even what it was originally about. You're losing yourself.
The thing is more like, if you want to watch any movie nowadays, 99% of it is...
But that was not the original point. It was never about movies in general.
It's just American media out-flooded everyone.
You already said that.
Yeah, but Zep just said, but why are you watching it then? The thing is...
Because you only said films instead of what you actually meant, which is media and general internet service providers like social media sites, etc. You're unclear and you're not making your own point. You're just lucky that I know what you mean.
So if we're talking about general media as a whole, I'm sure, like, the internet is vastly English-based, and part of that is because of the international prevalence of English, which is not American, and not purely America's fault. Blame the British, too.
There's more about the fact that
the modern continuation is mostly because of America. The issue is that I think the issue here is that there's just not been alternatives that are actively competitive.
I mean, yes.
And I feel like there's probably such an such an amount of global attention held on the English/American side of the internet and modern media that it's hard for new startups to begin that are not locally focused.
I mean, that's also the next problem, because like people want the internationality. Like, here's the thing. Local social media, for example, sucks. I've been to a bunch of German social media websites and they all sucked. But also, you only meet Germans there. Like, I can meet I can talk to people from Malaysia,
Oh.
from USA, all around the globe. I can meet people online.
Remember.
I want to have a central platform. The problem is just who is laying down.
I just remembered something.
There's-
I just remembered something actually relevant to this. There's a weird thing that I noticed that a lot of like non-American companies do when they're starting up and when they're starting to get big and global. For whatever weird ass reason, they decide, oh, let's just conform to American standards because that's the biggest thing on the market. So we're going to conform to that.
Yeah, that's
We're
capitalism.
not telling you to conform.
That's
No, we're not telling you to conform to that. We're not going to stop you from not conforming to that.
Oh, that's simply because of
It's just a
capitalism,
weird
and
thing that people who have.
since the biggest country is enforcing the capitalist system, it's automatically responsible.
And also, like any like internet startup that gets pretty big and becomes international, gets bought up by America.
Usually.
Like that's yeah. Like we had here in the Netherlands, we had like a few big social media sites. Every single one of them eventually like got sold to Americans,
Probably
like
Facebook,
a major
right?
American company. I'm not
Facebook.
probably. I'm not sure. No,
Facebook is completely American.
No, like the ones I bought, the one like the Dutch the specific Dutch site I'm thinking of, it was called Hives, Hyves, which, like I said, was really popular in the Netherlands in like the late 2000s and early 2010s, and it got really big, and I think it did go international. And it's like then it just got sold to, I don't know which American company, but to an American company, probably Facebook, yeah. And then I think it just eventually got folded into their main their main business and just disappeared. And that happened with several other like Dutch websites as well that became popular. That they just got bought up by Americans and either like continued under the American banner or were just completely like subsumed into the parent company.
So, I mean, my perspective on this is, I mean, you could have just not sold out to.
I mean, it's not my choice.
That's
It's capitalism. Like it's these businesses that they get like they get big, they get popular, they get like the owners get a really big offer, like a big sum of money from some American company to buy them out. Of course, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
Like it's just the reality of capitalism.
That's just what happens. You usually also have just more money than every one of us, which is also a problem. Like
That's how monopolies get formed. They just buy out the competition.
Yeah.
Like
We're
I mean,
trying to actively to defeat them, but a lot of our, I think part of the problem is that a lot of our companies that are not monopolies are I guess have enough money to buy out competition, but they don't buy out like competition that's not small. So, which I guess kind of hinders rise-ups, but the problem is that there is a problem with our monopoly laws that does need adjustments. But the part of the problem there is that the competition that we're talking about is not protected by American laws.
I don't think that was ever the argument.
Not often.
yeah, that was
Well,
not the
no,
point.
it's not the argument, but it's kind of saying that. What is my point here? I'm
Yeah, that's a
trying
good
to
question.
remember it. I don't remember what I was going to say, but
Mhm.
the issue is that I think it's because it's not American companies that are being bought up, less Americans will care. Because it's not
Yeah.
relevant to them.
I mean, yeah. It
course
doesn't. But
not.
I mean, hell, I am kind of screaming into the void here because, like, I mean, probably from your
At
perspective, you're like,
that point, I would say it's more of. I would say I'd argue it's an EU problem to
They
say,
should.
hey, American companies, you have to abide by these rules if you want to buy out something small.
I mean,
they try that, but that's a different problem. also just
There's
like,
a whole mess between international business.
Yes.
yeah, but also can I say
it's something that can hardly be regulated.
yeah, also one of the big things is that I generally would say social media should be under like a central international controlling body, because the problem is, Twitter can't say, oh, we are like the forum of the the digital forum of the world, and then be like, but you have to abide by the one rules one guy does, because like, no, here's the thing, social media are places where people gather nowadays. They are like hugely, vastly important, and like at some point we just need to acknowledge that they shouldn't be under control of one single company. Like, it's not good. Period.
Sorry, I'm quiet. I need to focus on actually
That's fine.
building economy now. I realize now I haven't been building for like the last however many minutes.
Interesting. Am I the only one who does both?
I am also.
I struggle when it's this late. I struggle to multitask,
Ah.
and this is probably the first time in a long time where I've focused more on the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the last however many months that we've been doing this, I've focused more on the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is why I tend to spout nonsense at times.
It's nearly 6 a.m. and the sun is coming up.
Mm-hmm. I got to sleep at 9 in the morning.
So according to Puffin, Hives was acquired by Telegraph, which doesn't surprise me. They tend to fly under the radar because they're small and
But you see why
weird and have...
a lot of non-American people are blaming, not without reason, America as a country for lots of things going on in the internet.
Yeah, like, I mean...
I'm asking...
I can understand the assignment of blame.
Yeah.
I don't think that all of it is fully justified. I feel like a lot of it is not to be directed at us directly. But there are parts of it that I believe are justified.
Like, for example, the whole, if you swear a lot, oftentimes on sites, you get basically shadow banned. Is an example.
So I don't have too much I don't have too much knowledge around the whole shadow banning thing, because I don't engage in like... The problem with shadow banning is it's such an enigmatic and weird system that it doesn't seem to have much rhyme or reason to it. So it's hard to say whether one thing has actively contributed, like swearing, for example, has actively contributed to it.
I mean, people are trying that out on media sites and on like sites like YouTube. It's like when YouTube revised their algorithm like once, and pretty much everything related to queer topics was flagged as hate speech.
Yeah!
That was a weird time. Kinda still going on.
I think that originated in...
I fucked up.
Like, what's the thing called? Yeah. YouTube's tendency to overcorrect for things.
Yeah, but YouTube is a company from and led by...
You want me to finish the sentence?
Oh, you can do it, sure.
Okay.
It's a more of a question.
By Americans.
What? I didn't acoustically catch that.
It's led by an American company.
Yeah, and that's the reason why people are angry at general at America there. I guess
Yeah.
if you're
Although
if you're a powerful country, people
personally, I attribute.
yeah.
Personally, I have a tendency. So this is a little cultural difference, I guess.
Probably.
I am more likely to assign blame to the individual
I mean,
rather than the culture.
I mean, you're right in that
Because
case that you assign blame to the
The
person.
thing is,
You
from our perspective,
Yeah.
our the cultures across the U.S. are so diverse
of course they're diverse. That's
in ways that are not very visible from the outside.
Yeah.
That I can't really, so that it's hard to.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can't accept ownership of the problems that YouTube causes on the internet.
No,
because
that's not the point. That's not
that's
the point.
completely separate ownership.
I mean, as Pastor Puffin says, American also company, they will go and put their own morals on it, but like, here's the thing. The big problem we have is that morals and culture are shaped by certain, things like, for example, media. And the thing is, if one, country and certain companies from that country can basically, for example, outproduce everyone on the market, like, just dominate the sphere, they will inevitably push what they think is moral onto other countries. And now in the internet this is turbocharged because, again, for example, if I would buy like, I don't know,
Can I address Seb's point first?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right in the sense that, of course, the individual there is responsible, but most people nowadays, with a bit more analysis, don't directly blame the individual, they blame the system. So on one hand it would be capitalism, and on the other hand, which countries are at the top and enforce the capitalist system the most?
yeah.
The biggest ones, so China and Russia. China and America.
Yeah, Russia would be...
No, I'm talking bullshit.
I was about to be massively insulted there because you included Russia with us. I was about to be massively insulted.
No,
China, I understand.
I said China
I
and Russia. I didn't even
understand.
include you in that bullshit statement.
And the irony about China is that right now, like...
That's not important.
Sorry.
That's not...
As the American who will never go there, I will say it. Chinese capitalist party.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
That's
I want
the
to
irony
say,
there.
like, there is not a lot of Chinese media that gets exported. Like,
Yes, but I don't see the point in talking about that right now.
I mean, so I wouldn't. So there's not a mass, like a sheer mass of Chinese media that gets exported, but I would say that enough of some of their big media has gotten exported, like their significant media has gotten exported to the U.S., especially because of Chinese American immigrants.
yeah, but it kind of depends on what...
But you see that you're completely shifting the topic with your side remark now?
Sorry.
Just saying. I want to finish one.
I will note that I have been trying to keep the subject back, like the topic of conversation
I
on
know.
topic.
I know, I noticed.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have, the tangents have been numerous.
Welcome to the Friday night Victoria stream.
It's a Saturday morning.
I don't think that we could have this many tangents in many other games.
True.
Not with that attitude.
No, they actually tried to break into China. This is why they geared a lot of that, but this is actually shifting again because turns out breaking into the Chinese market is not that easy. Like, the difference is more like, yes,
Do you want to tangent even further?
No, I want to talk to the chat.
Yeah, but you brought it up in the first place and it's a tangent.
How about this? Let's move on from that subject because clearly that's not what we want to talk about.
Anymore, apparently.
Okay,
At
what is
least
it?
Yeah,
Nya does.
apparently. So let's move on.
At least Nya doesn't. I would like to finish it, but okay.
I just want to say there's a
You
difference.
just want to say another tangent that's nothing to the point. I know.
There's a difference.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
That's too...
Yeah, I noticed.
Ah,
What can you do? Why is it the
before I need to
French
forget.
Oh, fuck! I guess I'll get my lead from there then. There's also a bit of lead. DM, do you have lead? No.
You can probably buy my lead.
No, I
Because
don't
I can
want
always
your lead.
build. I have a lot more. I have a lot more reserves of lead to build. I just haven't had a need to.
Dun, 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 dun.
But if the market wants my lead, by God, I'll make it. For the free market.
You're
Try not to yell
Mexico.
too loud because I have family at home.
Yeah.
You should say it in Spanish though.
Hold on. I am Mexico, but I have America lands. I have the unmanifested destiny.
Yes.
Ah, yes. The most important thing, we unmanifested destiny. This is, you know what? It's kind of amazing that I have
You know what would be cool? If in wars you don't fight over the predefined provinces, but like the cultural understanding of de jure of the country you're playing defines the borders. So America gets their lines and Mexico just gets like a curve. If they take over the states.
well,
You know, so honestly, thinking about that, that is kind of what I do when I play Mexico. I don't normally go for Wyoming and Montana. Like, I leave that kind of like nice looking curve to the Mexican borders.
Yeah,
Normally.
I just meant if America gets states, they have their original borders, of course. But Mexico is probably a very different idea back then what a country is, you know? Like, for example, Texas. The state of
I
Texas.
think so with Mexico, I think the problem with Mexico at the time was that it was still a very fledgling country.
Yes, yes.
And so there wasn't much differentiation, or I don't think that there was a solidified ideal of a whole being federated at what level.
Yes, of course.
Whereas America was.
But when
was
they're thinking
moving
of
toward-
their land, they probably don't think of the borders of American Texas. They probably think of
Yes.
slightly different borders. That's what I mean. Like, if they attack, they take that part.
Yes, I see what you mean. So for example, it would be similar to when you release the Iroquois in New York. It splits the state in half, where the Iroquois traditionally were, more towards the Great Lakes area rather than the East Coast area.
hi bot.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, bye bot.
No cheap viewers in this stream.
Yeah.
We only have the most luxurious and expensive of viewers.
We have hard gain viewers by a raid. Hello, raid.
We have biological eyeballs.
I don't know if you're still following or if we scare you away. We're actually kind of nice. We're sometimes playing survival horror games. Also,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I just agreed with you. Yeah. But then again, I don't know if everybody has biological eyeballs. Some don't. That's also fine. You can hear us.
If you have bionic eyeballs, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is actually
I hope
kinda cool.
I hope they don't malfunction or cause any problems.
And if there are any bionicles in chat, raise your hand and know that you are loved.
Ah, yes, the bionic.
Also, I'm not apologizing, but this is my... you see, I am entering my full nonsense mode. Which I don't even understand as if it is a mode or not. Probably more of a state of being.
A vibe, basically.
Prosthetic hearing bone is acceptable enough. I'll approve of that.
Yeah.
I don't even know why, but I will.
Like, I'm totally wrong here, but I'm now imagining some kind of like weirdly sonic sound, not the hedgehog, but sound, themed prosthetic
be
instead
hedgehog.
of the ear bone.
You know what? Now I'm imagining the prosthetic having just the mugshot of Sonic.
Oh, that's even worse. I mean,
And
nobody
now I'm
would see
thinking of
it.
an actual mugshot of Sonic.
I mean, nobody would see it, but you know.
Detective Jake Peralta brought in Sonic the Hedgehog under the crime of Dine and Dash or whatever. I don't know.
Jaywalking, probably.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like Sonic would be guilty of. No, hold on. Thinking about it, how many times have we seen Sonic stop for something stupid?
Like a titanium put
jaywalking.
over it since my hearing bone was getting kind of... Ow! That happens?
Huh?
It's titanium put over the hearing bone because it was absorbed into the body, which, like, that sounds not good.
I mean,
Oh,
yes.
I've heard of stuff like that happening.
Yeah, bodies can do that. Just think of some twins.
I think one of my high school classmates had something like that happen with their, I forget what part it was. Was their earlobe? Yeah, because I think their earlobe, like the mercurial part of it, like the part where the fluid is that lets you tell your balance, got kind of absorbed into like their neck or like the part behind their ear, and so they had a shit sense of balance partly because of that. But yeah, when skin malfunctions and are like subsurface organelles and organs malfunction, it's kind of weird.
I'm just too stubborn to stop the war with China.
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
They can invade me, and I cannot yet invade them. I need to research Leningrad. Yeah.
Okay. I have trade unions.
Wait, you need to research.
They
wait,
wear
hold on, hold on.
sombreros. How did that...
Was I think I'm certain, absolutely certain I heard that wrong, and I think I know what you said, but I heard that you need to research Leningrad.
I heard landing craft.
I mean, if I research Leningrad, then I've won the game, right?
I guess.
You know what? If you somehow find a way to research Leningrad, yeah, go for it. That I will count that as a win.
I researched Leningrad. What the suka? Russians be like. But if you play as Chile, does the native that you can cause there gets recognized or not?
You know, I haven't played as Chile in this in this update, but I do. I think they're talking about the decentralized nation that you can get as a puppet when you play as Chile.
I have no idea. I ate chili.
Really? Why do you hate Chile?
Basically, early on.
No, I didn't eat
Early
them.
on
I
as
didn't
you're,
eat them. I eat them.
Yeah, just toxic.
Early on, as you're playing Chile, it can you can get an event as you're colonizing Araucania or Araucania, however you say that. As you're colonizing that land, you can get an event which is a historical event, I think, where basically a French guy comes over and pronounces himself king of the people in South America and in that section of South America, and you essentially get the Chilean claims and the Argentinian claims as a puppet, unrecognized nation. So you lose the state that you were colonizing in, but you get that. It is a somewhat rare event, but I'd say it's my guess is that it probably happens about 20% of the 15 or 20% of the time when you play Chile, maybe less. And maybe I've just had a lot of luck playing it because about a little under half of the times that I've played Chile, I've had that event. Although I haven't played Chile a lot. So...
I am getting lit. I am getting lit. Woo!
But it is a good way to kind of cuck the Argentinians out of their territory in the south.
Sorry, I think cuck is just a very fun word.
It is a fun word.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of sad that it originally just described someone watching their main sexual partner getting fucked by someone else. Like, it's kind of boring, actually. It's a boring fetish.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, that's where it comes from. Well, like, cuckold is a word that goes back hundreds of years for like a man whose wife is getting shagged by somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a boring fetish.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a thing like hundreds of years before it became an actual fetish.
I mean, it was a fetish back then as well.
Probably.
People just didn't talk about it.
I'd imagine that there's probably I'd imagine that there's probably a lot of shame baggage in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that people wouldn't have talked about it.
I mean, it was and still is also used to shame people. By some people.
It's used, but
Now, yeah.
But the thing is just it's also just kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Sorry.
What is funny?
To say you're a cuck.
Makes no sense, right?
I know. It's just funny. It's just funny for me, you know. That it's just a very stupid level of funny for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like it's one of those words that kind of like fell into insult culture, and then just kind of like lost its meaning in the process.
It's kind of like Hurensohn.
Yes.
It's basically said so much it has lost all meaning. It's just incredibly funny if you say something that to someone. Like,
yeah.
How is Spain?
I do think that there is like from like a linguistic grammatical stance. Also, I think it's a silly sounding word.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
Because it kind of sounds as if it could be. I forget the term for it, but it sounds like it could be a sound effect.
Mm-hmm. You mean
Like stomp or
yeah?
something like that.
But would Hurensohn also fall under that?
I think I don't like it when for someone who doesn't know. Like if someone's someone's wife getting shagged and they don't know it, then they shouldn't be a cuck. And you can't take people who say things like that seriously. Hello, Zero Kane. Welcome to the 6 a.m. Saturday morning stream break.
So
I mean,
let's break that down and think about it logically. I think I would agree with that. I think that is a fair, logical, like, set of steps to take in assigning the definition there.
I'm still asking if Hurensohn also falls under sound effect. Because it's a bit long for that.
so yeah, I guess I will advertise that as it's 6 a.m. and we're somehow talking about
Yeah,
the
I
philosophy.
asked that something. Remember?
What?
Yeah, shut up.
So you're asking me if it's too long to be a sound effect.
Yes. If it still falls under sound effect, even though it's a bit longer than cuck.
If I'm giving it, I would say yes, it can still count as a sound effect, in part because it has German origin. I think that this is one of the cases where we give linguistic origins an exception.
Mm-hmm. Because Germans use
An exception to the rule.
lots of
Yeah.
compound words, so the sound effect
Lots of compound words, lots of consonants.
Okay, great.
So I think that there is a longer barrier for the syllables,
Yeah,
because not all sound effects need to be short on syllables.
Yeah.
Like there are a bunch of multi-syllable sound effects that are used in order to inform on sound effects that are comprised of more than one type of sound.
Mm-hmm. And only
Sort of
now
like how
chiming in.
Badum-tis with the drums is often identified as a singular sound effect.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Shame that you can't translate Hurensohn and keep the same, like it's overused and thus funny, because it has lost all meaning through languages. Cuck, you can.
So I would say that a way to kind of approach that in order to kind of invite the humor and expansion of the understanding of the humor is by allowing for people to, because this is something that this is an opinion that on linguistics that I've developed through reading a lot of manga and interacting with a lot of foreign language media, which I actually don't. So even cutting out even cutting out Japanese media, I do engage with a lot more foreign media than the average American, like massively more, almost to where it's probably about a third of like non-Japanese and non-American media is probably about a third of what I like observe, even though a lot of it is through English subtitles.
I mean, you have to understand it somehow.
So this is what I'm getting at. The way that you start approaching that is by initially translating it, and as people get more accustomed to understanding that translation, and they internalize the meaning of it, and eventually that word becomes almost a first language word to that person, even if they don't speak that language. They speak the word. Yeah. So it's kind of like the language in a microcosm in a individual or a culture or group. Yeah. This is how you get loan words, for example. And so by spreading what the meaning of that word is, people might use it or think of that word more often, and they will gradually see the humor in it naturally, the way that you would as a native speaker.
Maybe. I don't think it would work right away simply because... simply because...
Oh yeah, it's not an immediate thing.
Yeah, simply because if you would translate it, I think most people would be very off-putting because they don't have the cultural context there, because translated it's son of a whore. And it doesn't sound funny in English. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So now that you've explained the translation to me, I can understand how maybe supposing that I remember the translation.
Yeah.
If you were to say that, say a couple years in the future, I might laugh at that word because, and maybe part of this is just me laughing because it's perceived as a funny thing. So kind of like, what's the thing called? Bandwagon, I guess, would be the way to put it.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. So there is an aspect to it where that would probably influence that situation, but I think that that's all a part of the steps or progress that a word has for integrating itself with another language.
Yeah. I mean, German to other countries is always a bit harder, in my opinion, than, like, for example, English to German. Simply because we use so many English words and also some other things are just easily incorporated, let's say.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of, from a linguistics point of view, especially in the Romance languages, there's a surprising amount of backwards compatible linguistics that just kind of end up working for some reason, that I think is what increased the potential for English to have so many loan words in other languages, beyond just the dominance of the Anglosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. But...
years.
Yeah.
That is 100% part of it.
But like, German
But
just can easily incorporate lots of words. Like we have Japanese words people use without thinking that they're Japanese because they're so long integrated here.
Yeah, colonizing Africa is a thing because we still need to do a lot more in progress there.
Oh,
Look, so regarding
Also-
colonizing Africa, I did earlier suggest that you get the company that improves your colonization speed.
I think your main problem is that she doesn't have quinine.
Yes, which is why I should probably invest into some universities, actually.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
Oh,
Or like one.
I would have. I would have suggested that
I have
like
two.
Trina,
I have two, actually. They were
at
sponsored.
University. I would have suggested actually that universities be something that you invested in before you tried to advance your economy too much, because so here's my theory. I don't have the numbers on this, but I think that if you focus, like once you get a lower middling economy, I think you need to transition to catching up in tech beyond expanding your GDP, because by focusing on increasing, while you're focusing on building up your tech and research, you can still be actively researching industrial techs, which will scale up your existing economy.
Yeah, way faster.
So that way you don't fall behind as much when you're focusing on increasing your research and literacy rate.
Yeah.
That's a mistake I do too often. I tend to just invest into more construction sectors and just like, hey, just build 10 universities. Don't worry.
Yeah, so so when the Netherlands game was where I think I first put that into full practice, where I focused mainly on improving my tech at a crucial point, rather than being like, oh, I have to do a whole bunch of economy stuff or war stuff. And I used my excess funds not to necessarily expand my construction sector immediately, but to pay for an excessive amount of
Public
universities.
health insurance. Now all the trans girls can get their estrogen for free in Transvaal.
Great.
Yes.
Private sectors still can't build universities. Yeah, private. So
To be fair,
private
universities.
sectors, I think, should have.
Yeah. If we would introduce at least chairmen of companies that would gain popularity by building these.
Yeah, they want to do that to
Yes.
a degree.
They want to do that, and I think that right now because there are technically private universities being built, but that is purely by the industrialist event,
Yeah, like
where you get like the free
yeah.
one level of university, and I think that
That's
that
like a
event
placeholder.
I think that event is weighted
It's out of date, basically.
to appear when you're behind. Yeah, it's an out of date event, but I think it's weighted to appear more often for countries that are behind on tech and have certain levels of industrialization. I haven't looked into the numbers, but that's my feel of it after having experienced the event after having played. Let's check Steam. 1,000 hours of this game.
Damn, how much I played it, by the way.
I have played 530 roughly.
379. That's still good, I'd say. Yeah.
82.4.
I have a gaming problem, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, we're just playing other games, that's all.
Yeah.
We just put the time.
I mean, I play other games too.
Yes, but I think you mostly focus on the grand strategy genre more than we are.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's more like we're also playing, for example, Payday 2 on the side, and I guess I will get an invite code for Deadlock, so I guess I should not go to 7 a.m. because I probably should capitalize and stream that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
universities for free in this economy?
No, the stream restarted because we had an internet reset. This could be...
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you who haven't been around for years, I guess, more than a year at this point, there is a consistent problem with this stream where Nia's internet decides, oh, I'm just going to reset my IP or router number or whatever. I forget what it is. I'm not a networking person. Where that resets at about 10 o'clock or a little after 10 o'clock East Coast time.
It's 4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m. for you.
Yeah.
And usually this kind of gives like a small bork on stream and the count can continue on as normal. Sometimes though it gives a little bit more than a big hiccup where the hour count restarts. And sometimes it remains one VOD, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, basically.
The real only difference that this makes, though, is it just gives more work for Nya when she wants to put the stream on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, ship all it over.
I will say, one of these days, I am interested. I think it would be funny to see if someone in chat, or I mean, I guess even just one of us, just like somehow guesses the exact moment when the internet goes down, because it's not consistent. It is only consistent within like the general like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of random within that period.
Which is weird.
So it's weird, but it has a potential for someone getting it right. It's not a high potential, but it's a potential. But long story short, yes, stream started 2 hours ago. We've only been streaming for 2 hours.
Totally.
Except
Don't
for the
believe what
stream
anyone
before
else
that.
says.
Yeah. Also, I have soon incorporated Zululand. Woo!
Huh.
Yeah, that's good. That gives
Okay,
me...
so as soon as you
yeah,
have
great power.
Zululand incorporated, you should be capable of beating the UK, right?
Yeah.
I just became a great power, and I'm no longer my independence is no longer guaranteed by Britain, Russia, and Germany,
Yeah, that
which was the case
happens.
before. Yeah,
That's sad.
yeah. I quite enjoyed having like half the great powers in the world just looking out for me.
Also, 9 total great powers. Just let that sink in. That is a lot of great powers.
Yeah.
Aren't there always 9?
Almost 8 normally.
Oftentimes, like the max that I've generally seen is 8.
So you overtook the Great Crusade, but you're still behind Moral International. But you...
Also, we currently have like only 3 major powers. Everybody else is like minor or regional.
Yeah, malaria is the hard block. That's true.
And one of those major powers is hard locked into being an unrecognized major power, which is China.
Yeah.
Or as the also famous way of saying it, China.
China.
I see the China sound, but I prefer, or I find the Gina better because I have sometimes I have a little infantile humor.
Yeah. That's fine.
And also, I feel like that's more of a Trumpian thing to say is Gina, going in that direction rather than China.
Well, at least he hasn't sexually harassed China yet.
Oh, he's trying.
Give it time.
If he gets a big enough hand, I guess.
Oh, he would deserve insanely fast. Like, the thing is, yeah, malaria is literally the one thing that keeps everything from, not completely evaporating in in Africa. Who? That's not
If
even
malaria didn't exist in Vicky 3, I would probably say we might more often see historical colonization borders.
True.
Yeah.
It would mostly be just Britain and France.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
probably Portugal would get most of what it normally got, I'd say,
Yeah.
historically as well, which they don't nowadays, partly because Portugal takes forever to get their historical borders. Although I will say, this Portugal did a surprisingly good job of colonizing.
Yeah,
Or spreading
chunk
their
of the
colonial
African coast.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, even I, as a player, do not often finish Mozambique as quickly as Portugal did that. Which, I'm surprised.
I think that's mostly because France was sharing technology with them. Or was it Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're under
Italy.
Italy's. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen. I remember early in the stream they already had all this coastline before they were Italian puppet,
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, so they start out with the whole coastline of Mozambique, but colonizing the inner areas of Mozambique it takes a while because that's a lot of tiles.
I think it's just Mozambique. It's just the Portuguese pronunciation of C, because like the real country is called Mozambique with a Z. So I think it's Mozambique because Portuguese is a weird language.
I'm just pronouncing it as the state is in the game, rather than the territory. Or the modern pronunciation.
Yeah, like I just sort of assumed that it's just the Portuguese spelling of the, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh, Germany and France are going at it again
Yeah. That's a normal thing to do.
over
Beer.
yeah.
I thought
an
just
unrecognized power in Africa.
I just heard, by the way, you saying they were going at it over a beer. No. Yeah, beer or
I
wine.
think that France would go over it over a beer. Why is Brittany a thing? Who did that?
I
want to praise them.
I opposed with Britain the French Republic lots of time to get war reparations. So
Yeah, Italy is a thing. The Ottomans are still there.
Oh, so wait, Brittany just like birthed its own. Oh, the British must have. They've got a truce with Britain, so the British must have birthed them out into the world.
yes, I think that was the latest war.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the British could actually do good in this world?
Should I side with the British with the French against the Germans? I mean, I can get German war reps out of it. If we win.
Well, Germany will probably beat France right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I have
Also, by the
very
way, these are actually, for once, nice or like clean-looking German borders that the AI did.
Oh yeah, damn.
And Austria-Hungary exists. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, like
Although Austria-Hungary
Germany
does
ate
have
Bohemia.
They lost Bohemia.
I will say, Italy did kind of like screw it and not get Venetia.
Oh, fascist Switzerland. Fascist Switzerland.
I was wondering when you were gonna see that.
Oh no.
I think there's a little too much gold in Zurich.
Maybe.
There's always a bit too much gold in Zurich. And yeah, you're just controlling Arabia for some reason.
I wanted the oil.
That's fair.
Yeah.
America.
How very American.
No,
really
Cuba! I put you in such a good position in the first game. Why are you having rebellion? You fucked up the economy I built, didn't you? Yes, you did. You fucked it up. Bad AI. I was feeling protective of Cuba because I gave them their start.
Yeah.
that GDP line on Cuba. It went way up, and then all of a sudden it went way down.
Okay, let's see.
Really? Nah.
Well, not like way down, but it went worse to where it was before. I think it went up sharply because I think prices in its own market improved because of the loss of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Which is a not insignificant part of its economy. Like, I actually built up Puerto Rico a bit, or at least started it.
Man, they're all good against the good.
Oh, you know what I have? What's kind of hyped me up a bit about EU5? The recent dev diary was talking about the non-settled peoples and like the culture group, the non-settled culture groups that are wandering and nomadic. It hypes me up because I can finally play a game at. It makes me feel like there's a historical, interesting Native American playstyle that I could do.
That could be interesting.
Which,
if it comes probably in the expansion.
No, it seems like it's going to be base game.
Damn.
With one exception being, I think, the collective of peoples or whatever they're referred to. It does, based off of what some people are saying about it. Society of Pops, that's the thing.
Yeah.
What some people are saying is that it sounds like the Society of Pops won't be playable at launch. But the unsettled collectives, or whatever those are called, those nomadic tribes, they're most likely going to be a lot of Native American cultures that are in that grouping that would be interesting and fun to play as. And I say this as someone who does not like EU4.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking I'm accidentally role-playing like a Davinian state. Like
What?
the meme Davinian state, because I still have no healthcare. People just die. It's like you
have no health care, and your mainland like what would you call your part of China? Mainland, or would you call it something else?
It's the other island.
Okay, yeah, the other island. The other island, perpetually occupied and suffering.
Yeah, but there aren't many people.
15% market access.
There aren't many people left to do anything because devastation is 100%, so I have 200% mortality there. So
Yep.
they're all losing their legs and are not strong enough to swim over.
Let's see. For however long this war has been going on, that state has been losing around 9,000 pops per year.
I know. I'm just too stubborn because I want Korea.
Okay, let us see how long. When was this war started?
Oh,
if it will tell us.
A few years
Will it tell
ago.
us that?
Let's see.
Great
First
Britain?
battle. First battle recorded was in 92. So
That's
this year has
10
been
years.
going on
10
at
years.
least 10 years, about 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And it's probably been occupied for the vast majority of that time.
Yes.
So the Great Qing's independence being guaranteed by Britain.
I guess they're doing something nice for once.
Yeah, I actually wanted Britain to help me, but they were just like, no.
There can be a perspective on that where that independence is not so, what's the word?
Hey,
No,
Gobsoft
seriously,
Girl,
what's the
welcome
word?
being back. You missed that Transvaal is now giving out free estrogen to everyone.
Yeah. We're giving free death to everyone.
Yes, but you're Japan, not Transvaal.
Yeah.
I should go to sleep. I still have migraines. Ha! It's fun right now. How was it again? We shouldn't go for 7 a.m. Oops! Oops!
Yeah, I haven't eaten since before stream started.
Yes, I am also getting hungry.
Yeah. Slowly.
What is it? What is it like? My brain, I was like, oh, I want to write again, but
the
I
Korean people have been migrating to me because I fucked up China enough. They're coming to me.
Very good.
Oh,
Like when the internet died at 4 a.m., you said, "Yeah, we'll do another half hour." That is now 2.5 hours ago.
Yes.
yes. Oops.
I was wondering when that subject was going to come back on. I was kind of ignoring it and kind of being like, has it been a half hour? Has it been a half hour? And I looked at the time. It says, oh, it's been 2 hours. It's not been half an hour. It's been 2 hours. So clearly we haven't reached half an hour yet because it's already 2 hours. Because my math can't brain.
Beep.
And I know I said that wrong. I didn't care to correct myself.
Mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Vicky free for you. Oops. Yeah, and the worst part is, again, I had fucking horrible migraines, probably because I overexerted myself. Now,
Last 2 days.
Yeah, now while we're streaming, Valve lifts the whole deadlock thing. I probably get an invite soon, so I probably should stream/play it next evening.
If you
I
go
thought
to
it was wrong on purpose. What? No, I kinda don't want to do that. Also, I'm still pissed because, again, I wanted to write again, but then I had migraines, but now I'm playing Vicky 3 and so
But you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Fascist Cape Colony.
Oh, they're back.
Oh,
They were next
Oh.
from Britain a while ago. How are they free
Yeah,
again?
like Cape Colony has been its own thing. Like they've been colonizing on their own as well. Like they control most of Herrera land,
I know, but they were
but now
next,
they have a fascist uprising.
They were next like 20 years ago.
yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, like, what's going on?
What do you mean? Wait, Cape Colony has been a thing. It's like
It
I've
has
been
been
looking at it for like the past 2 hours.
Yeah, but it has
Yeah,
been annexed a while ago.
And then it
Yeah,
became
but
independent.
apparently,
Yeah, I'm just
And-
wondering.
Oh, so
how-
Britain just
Yeah.
spat out. Did
That's been
Britain
for-
spit it out
for a
again? I
couple
guess.
Yes,
yeah, for a couple decades.
that's why I'm confused.
Oh,
Like they annexed
Okay.
it. I even talked with Na about, hey, you're getting a new neighbor.
Yeah,
and then there was
then-
Great Britain, and for some reason the AI thought like, yeah, just make it its own country again.
by the way, I finally managed to get off of laissez-faire,
Nice.
so I can actually start taking my freaking country back.
I'm
Well,
finally,
Ruben's country back.
I'm finally starting to get maybe on laissez-faire if the landowners, trade unions, and rural folk let me, because they're revolting again.
The landowners are revolting. What again?
The landowners are the usual suspects, but the trade unions and the rural folk are also on board. It's like terrible.
Yeah. The rural folk are revolting. Finally, something we agree upon.
God,
I love Chicken Run.
yeah.
Yeah.
I should watch the second movie.
Maybe.
I have never seen that. I don't know
I-
if it's even
I
good.
haven't
feel
seen
like-
the second movie either.
I
I have
feel
no
like
idea.
people
It's
slept
relatively
on
recent,
the
I think.
second. I think a lot of people slept on the second movie.
No,
Partly
I
because
heard
it's
I
been
watched the
so long
announcement. I was
since
like,
the first
holy
movie.
shit! And then it just released, apparently. Fuck,
Yeah,
that's on Netflix that we can
yeah.
watch.
Hmm.
Have you watched the original Chicken one?
I don't think so. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay, it's from the Wallace and Gromit people.
Oh,
Could
A
be.
comedy.
It's the Great Escape, but with chickens. Quite
yes.
literally.
Well, you lost me by the Great Escape.
Yeah, she doesn't know that movie. She's not a movie person.
Ah,
Right.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
You
we-
really
that's-
always
that's
We had
a
like
little
3
painful
hours
for me.
ago a conversation about how I just remembered the Star Wars movie under Star Wars. And
You
then-
know, the thing is, I hadn't thought of that connection. I don't make those connections actively.
Also, implying we remember anything that happened
Or
more than like
passively.
5 minutes ago, considering that it's nearly 7 a.m.
So
for
here's a
some-
little context with The Great Escape for me. The Great Escape is a movie that I essentially watch on a yearly basis. To the point where my brother, like, so it's The Great Escape and The Bridge Over the River Kwai. Those two movies I've watched so many times over the years that my brother just he got so exhausted of it that he throws side eye at me every time that it's mentioned, and it's become a little bit of a meme in my family, where it's like, "Oh, what movie should we watch tonight?" And one of us will say, "Oh, let's watch The Great Escape," and we say that in order to annoy my brother. Because he had to sit through me wanting to watch it so many times. Oh, and my grandfather is also partly responsible for that because he likes the movies too, and he indulged in my enjoyment of the movies for his own benefit as well. But yeah, but this is my completely biased opinion. Completely biased. It is objectively one of the best movies out there, The Great Escape.
Yep.
Yeah, what it's about though, she doesn't know that.
Yeah. But
Basically, Steve McQueen is
Who is
a.
I don't know actors.
Okay.
He was a very famous actor from the 50s.
Okay, a guy.
It's an old
He
movie.
is 50s George Clooney. He is 50s
Yeah.
George Clooney.
Who's George Clooney?
Oh my. Sexy white guy, I guess.
Those exist?
Okay, let's go with that.
Neil Brando.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Dio Brando, essentially. Except not like evil. Anyways,
JoJo character. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, we have Steve McQueen, which is kind of like a somewhat rebellious POW pilot who's a little bit separate from the rest of the people in a German POW camp.
It's a
which are
concentration
mostly
camp.
built up of.
So Dio
Yeah, it's a
Brando
concentration
is a prisoner of war and just some guy but sexy. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yes,
they escape
and
from
the
that.
rest of the people around him are
Entirely,
British or various types of British. So English, Scottish, Irish, the whole lot. Like he's the token American in the camp. And he's kind of sassy and like pokes at the leadership of the camp, and so gets frequently sent to a place called the Cooler, which is solitary confinement in a concrete bunker. And the plot of the movie is essentially the American keeps the German like the wardens and guards. Their focus is on him and his behavior, and so. No, goth soft girl. No, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Sassy is Frieza.
I refuse to acknowledge that. Anyway,
Frieza isn't an American.
yes. Although Frieza is racist enough to be one. I say this as an American. Anyways, the plot is basically he keeps the guards focused on him and his behavior, while the Brits dig a tunnel. And he also escapes with the Brits.
I might have seen that movie.
I haven't seen it. And
I
know
wouldn't
that.
be I wouldn't be surprised if you encountered that movie in some manner, because it's a lot of its scenes were very they would show up in like the most random of circumstances on the internet.
Which year came it out?
Especially like, oh, it's an old movie.
Yeah, I presumed so.
60s, I think.
Yeah, I think
me-
I
let me
saw
check,
it on
let me
Kabel
check.
1 back then.
Ah, yes, Kabel 1.
Kabel 1.
It is a 1963.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
60s, I
then
saw.
it's possible that I have actually seen it.
Yeah, have you seen this picture?
Wait, I need to deploy to kill Chinese. Wait. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You know what? I should just have
That's
opened...
really Dio Brando a bit.
You know what?
See?
I don't. I can't quite visualize what you're saying, Goth Soft Girl, but sure. Whatever you're visualizing, let's go with that.
I love the fact that that it's currently.
It's sad that
7
he isn't a
a.m.
vampire, because I remember him, but yeah. It's kind of Dio Brando, at least from a visual point. Just less over the top.
Oh, and there were some nice motorcycle stunts in that movie. So, there's that. But anyways, the people who made Wallace and Gromit decided to take the formula from that movie and be like, you know what? Let's just claymate that movie and make it chickens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And make it adapted for an audience of children. Okay, Goth Soft Girl. I don't know why that got pulled by Automod. Automod is being like stupid, so I am.
Well, Automat saw
Whatever.
ass cheeks, and that's the problem. That's bad.
Automod just. But anyways, the Wallace and Gromit people decided, let's claymate this, make this aimed at children, at an audience of children, and then decided, you know what? Let's also traumatize the children with a couple scenes,
Yeah.
just randomly thrown in there.
Also, it confirms British farmers are Nazis.
Yes. Also,
Yes.
the interesting thing is like The Great Escape, the movie, is loosely based on real events.
Yeah, I know.
It actually
Yes.
happened. Very cool.
But to the other point about me remembering things only 5 minutes ago, interesting tidbit about me. There are two situations where my brain functions on very high capacity, and that's sleep deprived and in conflict situations.
Yeah.
I thrive in those.
I really don't want the second.
Yeah.
But also there is, so you in Germany. Well, no, is the camp in Germany? I
It is
forget.
in Germany.
But wherever
Yes.
wherever the original camp was,
The Germans at the time would have said it's Germany.
let me double check. I think it is Germany. I just permitted that term. I don't know why.
I mean,
take a
it's-
look where the camp location is.
Yeah, I guess that's what Automat thought.
What the
It may
fuck,
be thinking
Automods?
spam. Okay, hold on. The Automod might be thinking spam.
Maybe.
The camp was in modern Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put a bunch of them.
So if you go to Poland, you can visit the camp, and they have marked out where the tunnel was. And it's actually pretty fascinating. I haven't been there, but if I was to ever end up in Poland, that is one place I would like to go.
And then you sing Secret Tunnel?
Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel.
They escaped, that's great. They escaped through the secret tunnel. It's great.
Secret tunnel.
They escaped, but I mean, do you mind me spoiling the end? I mean, it's a real event, but
Yeah, just...
so
Spoiler,
they
Germany
escaped,
lost.
But the majority of the guys who escaped were recaptured and murdered
That's sad.
before they were brought back to the camp. So war crime.
No, like...
But a couple of them did manage to make it to Spain. The American did not, because he got so far and was like not with the main group that was escaping. When he got caught, he did end up safely making it back to the camp, where he spent I think he spent the days until the camp was liberated. In and out of the solitary confinement. But the vast majority of the escaped prisoners did get put in a field and mowed down via machine gun.
Yeah, that's the usual thing until they run out of bullets.
Yeah.
Also, oh god, no, not the Linkin Park reference.
I think
No, the auto mode is not off. I am legitimately considering though, because like I put it on, so just in the sense that
All the mod
someone
hate me too.
You can
comes
you
in
can
and is
probably
asshole.
change the strictness of auto
I don't know
mod.
if I ever touched it versus like doing, and then like yeah, but like the biggest
You
problem I
can
have
set it
with
to be
auto
like
mode
a
is just
minimal strictness.
yeah. I mean the main problem I just have is the fact that yeah, auto mode is like just how should I say.
A bit over enthusiastic.
Weirdly, yes, and it's also mainly going after my horny viewers and not after the problem.
Yeah.
Let
You
let
could
them be
so
horny.
what I have seen so from a moderation standpoint, I have seen people decide to go with Nightbot being an auto moderator, but that takes a lot of finesse to set up. And you can't really override because Nightbot has traditional mod permissions in order for that to work. And some other bots, it's not always Nightbots, sometimes it's like Couchbot or whatever. Because they have the traditional mod permissions, your normal mods cannot override what Nightbot does. Although I would be able to manually undo it. I think I would be able to manually undo a timeout or ban. That would happen if that is the case. But you could also just tell Nightbot to never timeout or ban. But that would sometimes defeat the purpose. You can also, I think there is a default Twitch setting where you can make it so that people can't post links in chat. And you can like give permission to moderators and VIPs to post links. So that is one way that I've seen people do is that they turn off link. So in order to get rid of the bots, they just say, "Hey, people who are not VIPs or mods can only VIPs and mods can post links."
Yeah, that sounds understandable, I'd say.
And if you have a smaller, more curated community, like kind of like what we have, although we're not necessarily the smallest of communities, and I think that the VIP badges are a little too limited for us in that manner. That it wouldn't quite make sense. It's more of something if you have maybe 5 people that would show up for a stream max. Then again, I haven't taken a look at VIP settings in a long time. So, there's ways around it, but you never know. I completed the positivism. The positivism.
positivism.
Whatever. Yes, positivism.
Yeah, that just started
I
for me.
completed that journal entry for the first time ever.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I've always just like shut them down right away because I've never cared to go through the whole process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crush up cults. I'm just gonna shut them. Also, it is now actually 7 a.m.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
that's
we should. You know what? Fuck it.
It's the perfect time for you all to be awake.
yes.
You know what? I'm actually feeling a bit ill here, just slightly. So let's just,
Oh, really?
let's go until the next month because then there's an autosave. I know that because I need to definitely get awake again because I want to do things.
There's an autosave, but you're definitely going to
turn in.
still do a manual
turn in
save
mean?
anyways.
Huh?
What does gonna turn in mean?
Sleeping.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's not. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. And yeah, maybe I am back tomorrow evening streaming again. Ugh. But hopefully you're getting well. Yeah, she says thank you, Okonya.
Yeah. No problem.
Oh, I just realized it's 1 a.m. here.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, we should definitely stop then.
That's a while ago.
And
My dogs over the past month have ruined my sense of time.
Oh.
Ruined
Also,
it
Gossip Girl,
because there were a couple nights where they would wake me up every hour.
we need to talk one day because of you read my news shit a while ago. So yeah, we'll see about that. Okay. Oh, June
Also,
is already done. Oh god, I missed June.
That's fine. It's fine.
It's okay. We can just go to July.
Okay, let's fuck you. Yeah, let's just do that.
Yay!
I can't believe that worked.
I mean, in the
I wasn't
first
even intending it to work.
in the first July, I have a chance of enacting laissez-faire, so I'm happy.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. What I do for the girlfriend. But yeah, have a good sleep. Have a good night. Hopefully, it's gonna be much better soon. Bit of my mental. That sucks. No, not 30 more. Like, it's 7 a.m. This is a great cut-off, Livingston. I'm sorry.
I mean, I could probably go a while.
You know what?
But
True.
I have it.
Yay, you have it! It's July 2nd, thank you for your screaming. Can we get a W for... What did you get?
Laissez-faire. I finally have laissez-faire.
Can we get a W? Oh no, we should get a W for laissez-faire. Okay.
In the alternate universe of Victoria, capitalists are actually spending all the money they have and do not save any. So...
Hey, look, we've circled back on one of our original topics.
Yes. So, in the Victoria 3 universe...
No more topics. We are ending this stream.
Yeah, in the Victoria 3 universe, capitalists are actually good for once.
Okay, everyone, it is 7 a.m. It was wonderful to have you here.
Yeah.
It was a wild stream once again. And, yeah, I still have a migraine.
Yeah.
A pretty bad one, actually, now that I realize it. So I will go to sleep. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Night.